My name is Bill MacIntosh. I was an AFS student from the United States to Brazil in 1964 and 1965, lo these many years ago. I currently live with my wife in Chestertown, Maryland. That's Maryland's Eastern Shore. I am retired from basically a career in international finance and treasury. My school in a little town in northeastern Ohio had its first exchange student in 1961, I believe. And I was quite active through volunteers in the AFS club that we had. We did pancake suppers and so forth. But it was basically through local volunteers that the program first became visible to our little town. But Brazil was in effect chosen for me. We did not have a choice in the matter, so to speak. When asked, I said, I'll go anywhere, and anywhere happened to be Brazil. But after these many years, it is a place, had I known existed as it did, I would have selected it very first choice. I knew very little actually about Brazil itself. Obviously knew the country, knew where it was certainly, knew that they spoke Portuguese, which I did not speak before I went, and knew that it was large. I had some letters from my host family to be introducing themselves, written in very nice English, although they did not speak English. So I don't know who ghostwrote it for them, but clearly very welcoming both as a country and as the host family. First of all, language-wise, is much different. Perspectives in the sense that I had a much larger family. I have one brother in the States, and I entered a family with all four of them younger, two younger brothers and two younger sisters. So that was a dynamic that certainly changed. But I think one of the things that anyone who has visited Brazil or certainly lived there, but it is a very, I'll call it an emotional country. They are very visibly emotional in terms of happiness and joy and sadness. They are a hugging people, and abrazos, I mean, the embrace that most people really practice that in terms of great friendship. They were a fascinating group. Again, having never had younger siblings before, and certainly not sisters before. They were brother 16, sister 12, sister 10, and a younger brother who was 5 at the time. And my father was a professional. He ran a General Motors agency in town. And my mother was a homemaker. And Brazilian brother could not have been nicer. He was, again, younger than I, but introduced me to his friends, became my friends immediately. And having sisters was a brand new experience for me. Very active in athletics. I may have mentioned before that Pelé, the world-known soccer player, went to my high school. Before I did, I knew his sister, but not him personally. But again, the community and the family was a brand new experience, but certainly welcoming and very accommodating for me. My school was about 4 blocks from my house, so I walked to school every day. And every day was 6 days a week, went to school. Mornings only, basically from 7:30 in the morning until 1 o'clock. So it was a full academic schedule. Again, very accommodating, very small. I'm imagining my class was only about 15 people. There are classical courses, scientific courses to differentiate what the academic program is. A lot of new foods for me, a lot of rice and beans, feijoada, which is basically a sausage and beans and rice dish. I finished my black belt in judo when I was there. My younger brother was also training for judo at the time. But a lot of new things just in terms of, I guess, primarily food, some local travel that was very pleasant. But it was a very modern country, so to speak, but it certainly has changed in the last in the last 60 years since I've been there. So I did learn Portuguese. My Brazilian family, as I mentioned, did not speak English, so it was a complete, total immersion program. For the first couple of months, I ate a lot. at the dinner table and did not talk a lot, but I have to brag that I graduated third in my class ultimately, and speak Portuguese fluently. So it's a real treat to be able to speak that whenever I get the chance. I had the good fortune of working overseas for Nestle, and Nestle's basically mother language is French. I traveled extensively and worked in South America, so I speak French and Spanish, broken Italian, and very broken Malay. I spent some working periods in Malaysia and Singapore. So when living as an American Field Service exchange student, you get a total immersion. So the skills that you pick up, some of them you assimilate automatically, some of them you actually study for, such as your languages. But it is something that is, I think, inherent in, as I would call it, the total immersion, that you pick up skills of communication in particular, speaking a different language, but trying to explain yourself and your country to a, I'll call it foreign, it is hardly foreign, but an international experience, an international environment. After I left business school, I was interviewed for a position with Nestle, the Swiss company. And as I mentioned to others before, I had a 5-language interview, English and Spanish, French, Portuguese, and Japanese. So immediately, I think the effect of having had my American Field Service experience exposed me to those languages and cultures. And I like to think that, first of all, it got me involved in things international. I ended up working for probably 20 plus years in international finance and treasury, with travel to these countries in part. That my first assignment overseas was to Brazil. So that it really launched me, gave me an appreciation for things international, for travel, and certainly for languages. The professional side of it in terms of finance and treasury came with the job, but I cannot say enough that having lived under this American Field Service experience got me involved in my international career. In speaking with others, it's difficult at the outset to think of, well, I'm going to miss the junior prom, or I'm going to miss my senior year of basketball season. And for many of us, the true appreciation for the American Field Service experience comes sometimes later in life. I don't want to say much later in life, but one's appreciation for the exchange program only increases as time goes by. You've got a greater appreciation of the language, of the people you've met, of what it has exposed you to, whether it has determined your career professionally. But it is something that you got to look beyond the very immediate rewards of travel and living with the host family. But American Field Service really, I think, launches you into a future that you will appreciate only more as time goes by. The world in which we live now is far more interconnected, everything digitally as well as any other means of communication. And it is a changed world, and it continues to change. And I think the flexibility and the adaptability of being an exchange student really readies you for a changing life or whatever future is going to happen. You have a base in terms of relationships, of language, of international travel that can only be more important as time goes by. The President's Council is an advisory council. Certainly, it is not management and it's not staff, but it pulls in all of the impressions that mostly former American Field Service students have had in terms of bringing in their talent, their time, their treasure to make sure that the mission of American Field Service continues. And I think it's a group that is certainly convinced of the benefits and the advantages that it brings to the table. And this is a group that is many, many backgrounds, finance, development, marketing, engagement and communications, that it is just a wonderful place to be able to give back to American Field Service. It is something that has improved engagement, I think, across countless countries, countless people. And we continue to encounter folks who have gone before us and those who have gone after us. And we encounter them in all walks of life, everything from government to finance to you name it. There is an effect of former AFSers that is out there for everyone to engage with. Some of them are, I'll call them, hidden to us, and we only discover them after the fact. But AFS-USA is something that is truly global, truly life-changing for so many people. And that, to me, is the real effect.